Leah, you want to light candles today? Okay. Nepotism. I know a prayer book. Hey y'all, Shabbat Shalom. Normally I have a musician here, but not tonight, so you get to hear my voice sing, so good luck with that. For those watching online, we are aware there is a sound problem. We cannot figure out how to fix it, but we'll have a professional in here at one point to figure that out. So I apologize, you're watching online, the sound's really bad. Okay, we're on page 120 of your prayer books.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu b'chad l'kner shel Shabbat.
Amen. All right. Now moving over to 128. Hine ma tovu mananim eshevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu mananim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu mananim shevet achim gam yachad. Now move over to Lachado D on page 138. And we're going to recite paragraphs 1, 5, and 9, and we arrive to paragraph 9. I encourage everyone to stand up and face the entrance as we greet the Shabbat bride. Great. How do the brothers do it again? The brothers, meet your version. Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekala. Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekala. Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekala. Lecha dodi likra kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabelan, Shamor b'zachor b'yedi b'echad, Hishme'anu Eloham Yichad, Adonai Eloham Yishmo Echad, V'shimati v'fer v'tila, Lecha dodi kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabelan, Lecha dodi kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabelan, hitoreri, kiva oreku mi ori, uri, shir daberi, kiva Adonai lek negila, lecha dodi kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabelan, lecha dodi kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise. Boi b'shalom, ateretz ba'al, gam b'smicha u'tzova, toch emunei am segula, boi chala. Lecha dodi Pnei Shabbat nekabelan, lecha dodi Pnei Shabbat nekabelan, lecha dodi Pnei Shabbat Kavela, Lechadodi Likra Kara, Pnei Shabbat Kavela. You may be seated. We're now moving to Shalom Aleichem on page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Shalom, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Yom. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Turn to 144. Yitkeda v'yitkeda Shemei Rabbah, Be'el divrach yotev yamlik malchutei, b'chayeicham v'yomecham u'chayrecho be'Yisrael. Uvizman karev v'yimaru amen. Yeshmei Rabba mevarach le'olam me'almayah yitbarach v'yishabach v'yipramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitala shemir shabarichu ve'elam min kol berchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amir delma v'imer. Amen. Turn to 146 and please rise for the Baruch Hu. La 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 la. La 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 You may be seated. Let's read together in the English on top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way in which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sails of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Amarib Aravim. Now move to 151, and let's read the bottom part of that in English together. Wisdom and wonder, passion, instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. It could be a true token of your abiding love, and this holiest of your works, and the living language that gives it form. Baruch atah Adonai Oheb Amo Yisrael. Now move to the Shema on page 152. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malachuto Le'olam V'ad. 154. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol avecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meyotecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom arevavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'divatam ba'am v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvektecha ha'v'derech u'shoftecha uvkumecha u'kshatom layot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha L'ma'an tizkeru v'asitem et chol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liyot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. We now move to Micha Mocha on page 158. La 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 no Tehillah Bella, no Tehillah Bella, la 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 Now move to Vishamru on page 162. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael Vishamru b'nei Yisrael לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית בעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. שבת ויהי נפש. שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We now move to the Amidah on 164, and when you arrive there, I invite you to stand with me. Adonai Shabbat Uviyan Gita Gilatan Adonai Shabbat Uviyan Gita Gilatan Baruch Adonai Elohim, Elohim Abraham, Elohim Yitzchak, Elohim Yaakov, Elohim Sarah, Elohim Rivka, Elohim and go down to the וקונה החול, וזוכר חסדיו אמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו יאהבה. מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, עזרא שרה. אתה גיבור לשלום, מקיים כל הצרה והושיע. Morikata, Mechakel Taish Bechansel, Mechayel Hakol Berachani Brahmi, so Bechnobly, Vero faithfully, Umatir Asubri, Umekayel, Unaso, Lishan Father. We have most of the road. We don't know. Now let's make it into my high. Oh, my Yeshua. When I'm on the dog, I go taco. Barry Khatarana. You will now continue silently until page 180. You may be seated whenever you like. Oh, say shalom b'mrama. Huya say shalom aleinu. Ve'yakol Yisrael. V'imru, amen. Oh, say shalom b'mrama. Say shalom aleinu, ve'yakol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Say shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'yakol Yisrael, say shalom. Say shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael. Say shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael. Say shalom, say shalom. Shalom Aleinu, Yaakov Yisrael. Okay, sermon time. So it's Shavuot. So normally for my sermons, I try to loosely base it off the portion of the week. But on Shavuot, there is no portion of the week. So it's a bit of a grab bag, if you will. So once in a while, I write a sermon and I'm not able to deliver it for whatever reason. So usually what I go do at Shavuot is find one of those sermons and then deliver it today. So this is on Leviticus 25. This is what the sermon's about. So it's not the portion of the week, and I apologize for that. But here we go. So chapter 25 of Leviticus has a complicated perspective on social and economic welfare. This chapter invented a financial device called the Year of Jubilee. The Jubilee year occurs every 50 years, and three things happen on this year. First, all debt is reset, which means Israelites who are in indentured servitude are set free. Second, the land lies fallow. This also occurs every 7 years, and God has made certain promises that no one will go hungry. And third, and most striking, is that all land reverts back to its original owners. Essentially, every 50 years, the Jubilee is a staggering economic reset of the Israelite community. Now, before I go on and discuss the implications of such a drastic financial device, I'd like to remind everyone what the book of Leviticus is all about. The book is often referred to as the priestly handbook. It's essentially God instructing the newly minted priesthood how to worship Adonai. However, we also know that the book of Leviticus was most likely written by priests of the destroyed first temple while unemployed in Babylon. So what we are experiencing in the book of Leviticus is not just ritual practices, but the Levitical priests' worldview. And as they wrote an instructional manual for temple worship, they also included notes of their version of a utopian society. All this to say, there is no evidence that the Israelites actually practiced a Jubilee year, but that these ancient priests living forlorn in a faraway city are imagining the perfect society upon their return, and to them, the year of Jubilee was part of that. I think perhaps it's my capitalistic bias that makes it hard for me to accept the year of Jubilee as a positive thing. I grew up with the American ideal that one works for their wealth, and no one should be able to just take it away. After all, Thomas Jefferson once said, all people are created equal, and they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. One of these unalienable rights is not to have my stuff taken away every 50 years. However, the Levitical priests believed in certain unalienable rights as well, and these rights revolved around entitlement to ancestral lands. These priests believed that when Adonai promised the Israelites the land of Canaan, this promise included each Israelite family owning their specific parcel of land in perpetuity. For the priests, this makes every Israelite a member of the same class, landowners. The priests really believed in this single class system, and surprisingly, the year of Jubilee was set up to protect it. So, for example, let's pretend a Benjaminite family owned a parcel of land that gets flooded, which loses its economic potential for at least 5 years. So they sell it, ideally to a fellow Benjaminite, but they still get in so much debt they can't pay it off. This is where the year of Jubilee protects this family. First off, their land is not sold permanently, just until the next Jubilee year, then they get it back. Second, any debt that they owe is voided. And third, there is language in Leviticus 25 that protects them from becoming debtor slaves longer than the next year of Jubilee. And from this example, it becomes clear that the Levitical priests were thinking up a social welfare program when they developed this year of Jubilee. It's not designed to help the wealthiest or luckiest of the Israelite landowners. It's designed to help the ones hardest hit. The priests imagined the Israelites as landowners need to be protected from slipping into a non-landowner status. And the Levitical priests envisioned this for all landowners of agricultural land. This year of Jubilee is assuming that landowners are farmers. Thus, when one sells their land, they're not selling that land specifically, but the harvest that land yields until the next Jubilee. And Leviticus 25 even explains that prices should fluctuate depending how far away the year of Jubilee is when the sale is made. In this way, not only are the priests protecting down on their luck farmers, they're also preventing conglomerations of farming land. It's impossible for one family to buy up all the farm land for more than 50 years. This prevents big farms forcing local farmers out of business. And this keeps the Israelites within a single class system. Nobody can be too successful or too unfortunate within this system. Now, once again, this runs counter to our own capitalistic understanding of success, which is the constant growth of wealth. And yet our own government checks capitalism with regulations. Regulations are normally a flashpoint in civic conversations concerning the role of government, but regulations are designed to protect local citizens. And that really is what the year of Jubilee is all about, protecting local Israelite citizens. But more importantly, protecting local citizens' legacy. In this case, a disenfranchised Israelite landowner would always know that no matter how bad things get for him, his children won't inherit his misfortune. And perhaps this is the most genius component of the year of Jubilee. Its coming may mean economic hardship for those Israelites who are incredibly successful. But it's a singular point of hope for those Israelites who are not. And sometimes hope is all a person needs to weather misfortune. And the Levitical priests developed a society that offered it. Well, personally, I don't think the Jubilee would ever work in a society like ours, or really any society. I'm still touched at how thoughtful the priests were when thinking about the Israelites who encountered great misfortune. That the least lucky of the Israelites deserve protection, even to the detriment of the most successful Israelites. Because this is the extension of God's promise and God's covenant, that all Israelites are God's treasured people. Thank you. We're now moving on to the Misha Berach, the prayer for healing on page 371 of your prayer books. And in our own community, we're thinking about these people who are in need of healing. Ginger Spiro, John Johnson, Pat Victor, Janice Breeze, Ross Rumack, Ian Clift, Hannah Franklin, Dale Chubin, Frank Erwiskin, Sharon Joy McDonald, Daniel Ellsberg, and Autumn Edwards. If there's someone who you are thinking of who is in need of healing, please feel free to say their names out loud or in your hearts. Misha Berach Avotenu Bekor HaBracha Le'imotenu, may the source of strength who bless the one before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu, bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of spirit, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We now move to the Elenu on 587 of your prayer books. When you arrive there, I invite you to stand with me. Elenu Shabbat May, La take the la say praise she just up calculate that shamo like around lady long week my food toe but not new curry Umish time body leave them out my laughing Hakaram tomorrow 591. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflood the river of understanding. Love each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech. May we never lift up our hands to conquer fear, doubt, and despair. Rise up your Son, O God, over all humanity. Cause let it go forth over all the lands between the seas, and let everything be reversed with joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. We now turn to the Mourner's Collage on page 598 of your prayer books. And the yard sites we're thinking about this week are Esther Gutenberg, Celia Massaro, David Rose, Mildred Schwartz, Harry Sokoloff, and Harriet Zanman. If there's someone who you are thinking of, please feel free to say their names out loud or in your hearts. May the memories be for a blessing. Yit Kadal, Yit Kadash, Shemei Rabba, Bielma Divra, Chayote, Viamlik Malchute, Bechayechon, Uvyamechon, Uchayerechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agara, Vizman, Kari, V'imru, Amen. Yeheshmei Rabba Mevarak, Olam, Olomei, Almaya, Yit Barak, V'yish Tabak, V'yit Pa'ar, V'yit Ramam, V'yit Naseh, V'yit Tadar, V'yit Taleh, V'yit Talal, Shemei Kudasha, Barichu, V'ela Miko, Birchata, V'shirata, Shishbechata, V'nechamata, Damiran, Be'alma, V'imru, Amen. Yehesh Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleni V'akol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom V'imramav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleni V'akol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Is the one who creates harmony on high, bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. You may be seated. Okay, announcements. We've got services tomorrow morning at 10:30. Tomorrow morning is kind of cool. We have this thing called a new thing called Shabbat Story Time, where we're going to have our religious school director, Genevieve. She's going to come, and then she's going to take like the kids out of the main service and do her own thing for the rest of the service. So it's kind of like there's like a hot kids service during the adult service. We're trying it out, see how it goes. We're gonna have it on select Saturdays this summer, and tomorrow is our first time trying it out. So we'll see. Sounds great. And then what's the next big thing? I think the next big thing is Henry's bar mitzvah. Wave hi, Henry. That kid, that guy, becoming a man soon. And that's on that'll be June 9th/10th. So please come and support Henry. It's going to be great. I already know that. So, all right. And then, new podcast episode from What Divines Us that Matt and I worked on. That's already available for where you download podcasts. And are there any other things that I'm forgetting about? I think we kind of slowed down this summer. I'm sorry. Oh, right. We got Thursday Minion, and we got Wednesday Minion at 8:30. Tim.
I just want to ask if the summer camping thing is still happening?
Oh, we have a camping trip towards the end of July, right? Yeah, that's still happening. Cheryl Embriani, she's usually here. I guess she's not here tonight. She's running that. So that's still happening. You can still sign up for that too. Just email me or email someone in our community if you want more information. We'll tell you how to get to it. But okay. I think that's everything. Let's go to Ozi Bazimrat Ya. I no idea. 647. It's the very bottom of that page. Ozi Bazimrat Ya. Vayahili Lishua Ozi Bazimraya Vayahili Lishua Ozi Bazimraya Vayahili Lishua Ozi Vazimanya Vayahili Lishua Ozi Vazimanya Vayahili Lishua. Shabbat Shalom. I think also Torah Uncensored is tomorrow at 12:30, I believe. Now I'm thinking about it. Forgot about that one. Okay, all right. So please join us for Oneg in the Old Purpose Room. We have lots of treats tonight too.